This video will cover detailed instructions on creating Scout and recommendation entries in FieldX Office for the PC.
Click Create Journal Entry, and then Scout Recommend. And it's going to open up a set of fields here. All right, so it's opening up 4 fields. And individual forms for each. So quick tour of the Scout and recommendation journal entries. If you click on Scout log here, this is the comments, the date, start scouting, finish scouting, any of that. The sketch is where you'd have like an image of the field, and you can draw on it, draw areas of interest. Okay, add in, mark where a weed patch is, whatever that might be. All right. Field conditions, these are the environmental type conditions. So for, irrigated fields would be very important as far as recording the soil moisture, percent saturation, if the irrigation machinery is on or not, and kind of how much has been out. Crop observations, this is just status of the crop. So how far along that crop is, growth stage, plant vigor, on down the line. Crop injury, insect disease, and weed. These are your pest type data. So this is where you'd enter in, this is the weed that we're seeing. This is the rating for it as far as height, okay, and it's present. All right. So that's a quick tour of that. And now what you'd be able to do is set these up as templates. So if I click on template up here and I click apply scouting template, I have an example that I had set up. So let's say these are cornfields, so I can select early season corn here. I'll click apply template to all the fields in this collection, press OK. All right, and then what it's going to do is bring in that template that I just set up. So it pre-filled, pre-selected which data fields are in there for me, pre-selected my units. So then the idea is I just be able to go back through and enter in what I'm actually seeing for that data. Now, we do have a field weather button here. So if you click field weather, that's going to show the conditions at that field, as well as the previous 7 days info. So the max min temp, rainfall, potential evapotranspiration, and the growing degree days for the crop. So, and it'll of course display that crop variety right there as well. All right. So that can be used and kind of copied in then for this form if you want to be including that on your report. You click crop observations. This is where you set that information. So I have a corn here, corn crop here, so I'll select my corn stages. Normally that'd be pre-selected in your template, and then you'd be able to set the growth stage. All right, go on down, and again, it's just you'd enter in the information that's relevant for you. Then crop injury, insect disease, weed. Now with my template, I just set up, basically what my form needs to look like, so I'm just filling in the blanks. Okay. Very quick to enter in this data. Looks like I pre-filled some of this. All right. Okay. So then I can save that, and now that scouting data has been saved into my journal, and I can go on to the next field. Okay. Now another thing in the Scout entry, with comments, if you click on general comments here. Um, this is available in any journal entry. I just hadn't talked about it with the plant, and it's probably more commonly used in the Scout. If you have a comment you're frequently needing to say, you know, something like that. Check to make sure the irrigation is turned off or turned on or whatever that might be. You can memorize that comment by clicking this button right here and moving it to the right side, and that's going to memorize it and sync it to your other devices that you're logged into. So instead of retyping this, so if I was coming in with a blank comment here, I could just click on the right side here, move that over, and then I'm going to be good to go to save that comment. Now, an additional detail here to know is that general comments are included in your reports that you print off. Personal comments are not. So these are the kinds of things that are just notes to yourself. You know, need to watch for a disease, it's particular disease. As a crop consultant, you might be concerned about, but you don't want to alert your customer yet because it might be nothing. You know, that's the kind of stuff you can include in that personal comment, just to give you a reminder to check for it the next week. All right, I'm just going to add in a little bit of data here in this one, so I have something for my report. Okay. As you're going through, you can click on field history here if you want to quickly see the previous entries for a field from the PC. So it's going to show, you know, the field size, the crop planted, when it was planted, and then going on back, you'll see all of the additional details. So what did you see last week? What was the planting detail down the line? All right, I'll save that. Now, let's say I'm going to skip actually saving a scouting entry in these last two fields, and let's just go on to the recommendation. So a ChemFert recommendation is where you'd put in that crop protection type recommendation. And on the lower half, you can go through and select your treatments. Select treatment here. Okay. My default rate automatically came in, so 20 ounces per acre. Select the application method here, and I'll enter in a carrier GPA. And then I'll put in the tank mix partner. So maybe we have an adjuvant we're going to add in. All right, I don't have a default rate, so I'm needing to fill this in automatically, or kind of as I go here. I'll just do, okay. All right, and then I can add in a target application date. So when do I want this done? Okay, and the priority ranking. Is this urgent? Is it not? I'll say it's urgent. Okay, and then in this, you can also be having special instructions. So mix, tank, well, clean after. Whatever that might be, that's specific to this particular tank mix and this application. All right. Now there's two shortcuts I can be using from here. One is to save this as a template, so I can be using this in the future. If I click on template up here, I can click Save as Recommendation Template. All right, and save this tank mix as one template. So it'll save the rates, it'll save everything, so that I can be selecting it from the list in the future. Press OK there. All right, saved. And then I just be able to apply that as I go forward. Okay. Now what I can also be doing is clicking on batch update here, selecting the recommendation information, and then pasting it to the other field. So if I copy it here, paste it to those other fields, it's going to have an identical rec on all four fields. Press OK. All right, and then it applied that recommendation throughout here. Okay. And then when I save this whole collection of open forms, I'm going to close out of it, and then I'll go into my journal to review the data and I'll do a report. I'm going to close all collections here. All right, click on the Field Journal tab, and I can see the Scout recommendations were added here. All right,